Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution Sports Forum. It is myself and the Man City Man. Pete, the Man City Man, still up. Welcome, Pete. Greet the viewers.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah, it was very great weekend, I must say.
Some
Guys,
interesting results in
yeah,
the Carling Cup. Yeah?
yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Guys, thank you for joining us as usual. Remoho, Sisonke, Fela, Onse Sam, we are together. Rotle, same way the beat goes on. Now, let's jump into the whole thing. Chiefs, I'm sure you saw it. I hate to talk about Chiefs all the time, but they bring the news. So it ended up being us talking. Ntwari, the goalkeeper, literally refused to be substituted. That shows there is no discipline now. I'm worried about that. And I hope Chiefs is going to take action as far as this is concerned. That's one. And you know what? If you ask me, Pete, Chiefs should cut the cost and hire Pitso. That's all. Hire Pitso, no condition. Allow Pitso to do whatever that he wants to do to bring back the glory days. Well, we hear at Chiefs they're looking at Spain, bringing a Spanish guy. They've tried it many times. Hire Pitso. I've been saying this many, many times. Hire Pitso. You get things right. Now, not only that, we are told that the two guys, caretaker coach, remember, if there is no one who take responsibility, you can't have two people, two bulls in one crowd. It can't be. We had so many stories that the other one is more qualified than the other one, and the one who's qualified is not the one who's leading. The one who's leading, is also got experience. Those are problems. Those are problems. And now we have picked up. Remember, let's me qualify. These are all news that we get, social media and other things, because we don't get the news. As I always lament and say, give us the news. They say the two guys have lost the dressing room. The dressing room, they don't respect them now anymore. So that's a recipe for disaster. Knowing Dr. Kaizer Ntwari having done what he has done over the years, that's one guy, we all highly respect. We all learn from him. I think he must deal with this situation. It will get out of hand. And I'm saying, that's me, Pete. I don't know you. I'm saying they must just cut the costs. The season is in the middle. Hire Pitso, fire everybody. Let Pitso decide who does he want to bring. All right. And along the lines, bring Dr. Kumalo closer to that technical staff. I think Doc and Pitso get along. Doc has the history of the team. All right, has the history of the team. You need such a person. That's my opinion. Cut the lost, hire Pitso. That's one subject that I want us to look at. Now, Bafana, they are playing this Friday, a very crucial one. A very crucial one. We need to win at all costs. Yes, we know that we have been dog points. I don't want us to focus on that. I want us to focus on winning our remaining games and qualify and forget about the rest. All right. And then that's one. Secondly, I still say whoever did the blunder must fall on his sword. I don't know who's that. Some people are saying the team manager. I listened to Sino. Sino was saying it's not only the technical manager, it's the entire technical squad. They take notes. They have statistics and so on. Why were they not saying? Right. Correctly so. FIFA said to the player, we point you with a finger. All right. Because look, this thing happens. And then after 18 months or so, another yellow card. Okay. So it's possible for one to forget. But
Yeah.
this is a lesson to players that, details, Pete, are important. One of the R words, as one of our principles, is record. Record down. Record down. Record, and you'll not forget. We are human beings, man. Our heads are too small. We cannot remember everything. But record, write down. Have the notes somewhere. If you go to court, you'll see they're recording, because records are important. Now, I think players, they need to learn that as individuals after the game, they need to have their own record somewhere about a yellow card on this date, blah, blah, and so on. Then they can always reflect. So that's all I'm asking for. So I also hear the news that Sundowns, I don't know how true is it, Sundowns will confirm or deny it, that Sundowns has given Cardoso, either he resign or they fire him. What's your position as a Sundawana? If you ask me, I don't think Cardoso is doing well at Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns now is playing a very boring football, and I see even the fans are not going to the stadium anyway. But remember, there were 57 fans in anyway. So now you are now taking them to 50 fans, no more 57 fans. So those are some of the things that we need to look. Pete, welcome to the show, and then we'll start with the first subject, and then greet the viewers. Let's jump into it.
Welcome back, guys. Yeah, so the first, just jog my memory, what was the first issue again?
The first issue, ill discipline at Kaizer Chiefs. What should Chiefs do? And my declaration is Chiefs hire Pitso. Don't put any condition. Allow Pitso to bring whoever he wants. That's it. And bring Dr. Khumalo closer.
Well, obviously now when you get a keeper that sort of like blatantly refuses to be substituted there, why? So if you look behind the scenes, apparently, and I say apparently, he plays for Rwanda, I think, as the national team there. So he's been getting game there, and he's well thought of, I think, there. But I think if I remember right, Chiefs have not been playing him. So I think when he got a chance like this now, he doesn't want to give it up some of that easily, But it is a discipline issue. I mean, what is it saying? I think you could be right there with that, the current coaching staff and this whole Nabi situation now is putting a taint really on what has been a pretty good start up until recent times now for Chief. Probably one of the better starts to the season that they've had for a long time. But for me, they need to nip this in the bud, as they call it. They need to take decisive, fast action because you can't let this situation carry on there. If they've lost, or the dressing room has lost, contact with the players, that's not a good situation in any team. So yes, look, you got to accept the fact that there might be a dispute between Nabi and Chiefs and all that sort of stuff, but the reality is he's gone. So they definitely need somebody to take their reins. And if it's true that, Kaizer has lost, and I can't remember the other guy's name that lost, the players, then they need to take action quickly. And for me, yeah, I would tend to agree with Pete. So he would stabilize the ship, I think, quite quickly, because he's a good coach. So yeah, maybe give him a year. He doesn't have to have a long-term contract, but they need to do something quickly. And so maybe give him Pitso, that 1 year contract might just be sufficient, or maybe till the end of the season, or and then see what happens with those results as they go along there. So yeah, I think it has happened once before, hasn't it? Where somebody refused to come off, and I think it was also a keeper. I can't remember the exact situation there, but um, it's not good. It isn't good, and now early exit now from the Carling Cup. But yeah, it's a bad one. And having said that, there was, if you look at the top four teams that we always discuss there, the three of them are out. So it's only Orlando Pirates now that are in now, and they're playing now the holders of the competition there. So to me, whoever wins that game is gonna take that Carling Cup. And I'm kind of edging my bets on Pirates being the team that's going to lift that trophy. But I've been wrong before. Let's see what the Pirates fans say, and let's hear what the Chiefs fans play. But it for me, it's a situation that needs to be dealt with quickly. You can't have ill discipline in your team, and you cannot have a situation where the coach or the interim coach, let's call it that way, is not on the field. The players. It's if that is the case, yeah, it needs to be dealt quickly. So that's my view on that one.
Discipline is the most important weapon. If
Oh, yeah.
I'm a student of history, and throughout the history, the great warriors, they were very emphatical on that. I can name them. Julius Caesar, okay? Your Napoleon Bonaparte. Discipline has been the cornerstone of everything. You named them. The great warriors, they were, King Shaka, who nearly conquered the entire Africa. Shaka was very adamant on discipline. And that is why, I don't know, well, me, I'm a Zulu, I know the history. You would say if they've gone to war, if you show a wound at the back, he would kill you. The reason was very simple. You were running away.
Yeah.
They didn't want cowards who runs away. He said, no, what's the reason? Why are you facing, why are your enemies facing your back? That means you run away. That's part of the discipline that he was instilling. Kim Shweshwe, you name them. And then we saw how disciplined Nelson Mandela too. We know how disciplined he was. It's all about discipline. So it doesn't happen in isolation. It's not that it's politics. No, it happens everywhere. And as I was referring to Pitso and say, they should hire Pitso. Sorry, they should hire Pitso. They said when Tito took over at Pirates, at Chiefs, at Sundowns, he insisted that you guys arrive at 8, leave at 4:30. Very strict. He said, guys, those who are driving these expensive cars that you don't even afford, take them away. If you don't do that, and we are not going to play in my squad. Discipline has to be instilled. All right. So what's your take about what I've just declared, that Chiefs should stop everything, hire Pitso, forget about the Spanish guy, hire Pitso, Pitso will get things right there, Chiefs. What's your take about it?
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. One thing's for sure, though, it needs to be dealt with quickly. There's no time for faffing around here. This team needs leadership. And I'm not sure current coaching staff, like we've intimated there, has the team. And you just can't, it can't go on like that because it'll just go from bad to worse.
And let me tell you,
I'm just glad the discipline these days is not as bad as Shaka Zulu and other leaders. Like Caesar, if he had any even a rumor of somebody not being with him, they were put to death. Yeah. So thank God the discipline these days is a little less harsh, but nevertheless still required. Yeah.
Look, Alex Ferguson.
Oh, here's another classic there.
irrespective of how popular David Beckham was. All right.
He was out.
He took an action, and good for him. The management supported him. Said, I want you out of my team. That's leadership. All right. You need to be fair.
However, with that move there at that particular time wasn't a very popular move, eh? And sometimes leaders have to make those those unpopular sort of and you live by your decisions, yeah. So
yes.
In that particular case, very unpopular. He was not popular with the Manchester United fans, but it worked out, and people respected him for that.
One of the great leaders.
And David Beckham made millions after that. So anyway, so it worked out for both of them.
Yes, and I think he's applying what he learned there at Inter Miami.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what? It's leadership. One of the great leaders, if you're a Christian, Jesus Christ, he said when they were stoning a woman being accused of adultery, he took a very unpopular decision, said, okay, guys, any one of you who has never committed adultery, just raise your hands. Did you understand?
You without sin cast the first stone. That was the actual quote there, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And nobody could stand there. Nobody could stand in front there because we all are sinful in one way or another, you know.
Yeah, that was a very unpopular decision to make, but it was done. So that's what I'm saying to Kaizer Chiefs, you know. And you know me, I read and then and I compare and I learn from others, from other experiences, and say success doesn't just come easy. And I listen to players. You know, Dembele said Messi took him on the side. Said, you know what? You have to be disciplined. You have to train hard. All right. So now, if Chiefs don't act now, and look what happened to Dembele. Dembele won the Ballon d'Or. Right? So if Chiefs don't act now, things will go out of hand. And big up to the children of Dr. Mtaung. They're doing well. Jessica is doing well for marketing. Junior is trying his best, to be in between the players and everything. But funniest thing that I've learned, I don't know, is true. They said Junior is doing coaching license, and also Kloppy, Dr. Mutsipe's son. Now, I don't understand what are they implicate. They want to coach now. I don't see them doing that. I hope they're just doing it to understand, but I don't see them coaching. They are right. There's leadership leading the organization. That is why Kaizer Ntwari at some point, being star as he was, he decided to say, no, I cannot play at the same time and run the organization. I'm going to run the organization. But we'll watch the space. Now, Pete, Bafana, quick one. They're playing on Friday. Yes, I know.
Got to win convincingly.
Yeah, I know that we have a problem. And then Benny McCarthy, you listened to him. I didn't listen to him. What was he saying? That's related.
I saw the one interview on African Football Forum there were 4 presenters there, and they were discussing this situation. And they're all saying basically, well, why hasn't disciplinary inquiry been headed now? And then at one or other point, they brought Benny in there, just to the back end of the interview. And in typical Benny style, he sort of like, he was asked the question, what would you do? He said, well, and what do you think the players feel after losing 3 points, etc.? So Benny said, well, I'm not involved here anymore. And so they pushed him for an answer, and he said, look, he said, it's an unforgivable mistake. And then there was another recording that I saw where he was being interviewed, and they said, he's on record of saying heads must fly. But I think the important rule here, I mean, it's like we have opinions. He also has an opinion. He's not involved. It's up to Bafana coaching staff, Safa, etc., to do what they think is true or what needs to be done. I think, and we've said, these two games are critical. We need to win, and we need to win conclusively. There mustn't be any question marks. A draw's not going to be good enough, I don't think. So, and really, the first game is where you set the standard. So we've got to win the home games. We have the advantage. I think we have the team. I think we can do it. The thing for me is the disciplinary issues that are being mentioned by Benny and others and I think the approach is right. Yes, maybe disciplinary issues need to be done, with whoever messed up there. Or you see, I'm always of that opinion. Look at the process rather than look at people. Look at the process. Things go wrong. Nobody intentionally wanted Bafana to lose those points. Nobody. I can promise you that. And I think anybody with any sense would say the same. So it was a mistake, albeit a very bad mistake. So for me, I've always been look at the process. What happened? Why did it happen? How can it not happen again? The fact that it's happened is, in fact, it's history. That's it now. You can't change it. What did he say? That ship has sailed. Yeah. But in terms of the disciplinary, some people want heads now. I'm of the opinion that it's being handled correctly, and that is keeping it to the side at the moment and then focusing on the games that are coming forward. And I think the last thing that the players need, having lost those 3 points now and being clear, I mean, they already would possibly be somewhat demotivated by the fact that this has happened. And the thing is to pick up their spirits now and get them into the fighting mood and ready for the game on Friday. And the last thing you need is somebody's head to roll now, and the political issues that come with that, being, brought to interfere with what needs to happen now on the pitch. So, yeah, Benny's entitled to his opinion, and I think maybe he's right, but process. Something went wrong. Something went wrong there. Nobody intentionally went out of their way to, for South Africa to dock points.
I like the way you put it.
Fix the process.
I like the way you put it. Process, very important.
Fix the process.
And no one does intentionally. Okay. But if you are a court fundi, you follow the court, you are being punished for ignorance.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse, these things.
Yeah, then it becomes a better lesson. And Benny himself, I think, is a very qualified somebody to do. For me, it's Pitso. Pitso have history. He has shown that he can do it. And if they fail, they can take Benny. I'll tell you what, Benny was born and grew up in the Cape Flats. He said it. He said, my father was a drunkard. And guess what? When he comes back home, it was hell. We wouldn't sleep.
Imagine.
Then he said, he decided there and there that I'm not going to drink in my life. I don't want to be a nuisance. He never said a nuisance. It's me. A nuisance, just like my father has been to us. I don't want to do that to my children. That on its own, it shows the element of discipline. That's one thing. Secondly, when he said, I went to Holland, I could not hear these people what they were saying during the practice. And then I didn't have friends. I go to the hotel. Yeah, there I am. I can't communicate with anybody. I must cook for myself and so on. It takes somebody with who has taken a resolution, one of the R principles, a resolution, who's resolute and determined that I want to succeed. So for me, those they lay a very good foundation. So hence Benny, for me, will be a very good choice. And then, yeah, we're also saying, let's talk about Pirates, man. You know, it would be unfair not to mention what Pirates is doing. Pirates is doing extremely well for me. And then, but before I go there, the great Jomo Sono, whom I still regard one of the best players this country has ever seen. Uh, um, he said, what I like about Jomo too, he speaks his mind. Whether you like it or not, it's your baby, but he speaks his mind. He said he wants Safa to take action against whoever is responsible for checking the players' bookings ahead of Bafana fixture. Action must be taken. But guess what? Danny Jordan said, we are going to do it. And I'm appealing to all South Africans. Let's rally around Bafana. Mistakes
100%.
do happen, but now we need the support of Bafana. Remember, as much as we are relating what we see, it doesn't mean that we are not rallying. We'll continue to rally Bafana and also point out what are the things. And I'm looking forward after Bafana and hope they qualify. They come back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when they come back, thereafter, SAFA must take a serious action and send a lesson. But not forgetting what you said, we are all fallible. We are
Just
all
look at just
we are
look
all human
just
beings.
look at the statement with a little bit more focus there. He says whoever must who was responsible for checking the process basically must fall on the sword, yeah, as you would say. But is that fixing the problem? Is that fixing the process? Yes, we'll all feel better because somebody was held accountable. But that person's a human. They make mistakes. Yeah. Who's to say the next person come in 5 years, 10 years, 2 weeks, whenever the case may be, won't make the same mistake unless we learn what happened from a process perspective that can stop this from happening again.
Look,
maybe it's a procedure. I don't know. Maybe it's as easy as writing a procedure. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe you can use this artificial intelligence to sort of like gather information, from book players of, and then if you pick that player from the squad, it can bring forward, the status of that player. You can use technology to actually make things better. So, and as much as I can understand the anger, I get this. I mean, I think most South Africans will be angry, with the fact that we've thrown away a golden opportunity to qualify, and now we're under the cosh, and we have to now step up again. But you know what? It is what it is. Let's just move forward and let's focus on the games and let's get those points and let's get the goals behind those points.
It was what it is. I agree with you. It was what it is. And then, but punishment must be done, but it must be considerate. But it should be done so that we are being seen to be doing something. As I say, if you go to the court of law, they say we punish you for ignorance. All right. You should be knowing by now. All right. Pete, Orlando Pirates, they are doing exceptionally well. There's this youngster, Mbogazi. I don't know whether you saw that goal. Oh, man.
I saw that goal. It was who has the audacity to score from 45 meters or 40 meters, whatever it was? It was an absolute cracking goal. And, worthy of winning the game, one could say. Yeah.
What are you saying about the people who are now starting to cut aspersion to the young man? Say, no, he's not 19, all sorts of things. Social media sometimes. And then they show him drinking. I don't know whether drinking or in the company of people who are drinking. People who are close to him, please call the boy to order and say, please be careful where you are going. In this day and age, things are tough. Big up to Apollis, very good player. Pirates scored him, and then Chiefs missed on this player. And then he scored a very brilliant goal. Apollos became man of the match. Then he did something that is unthinkable. He said, I'm going to share this money with Mbogazi. He said, that goal, that goal. How many people can do that? I mean, it's 100,000. They are going to take 50-50 now.
That's Messi-like, isn't it?
Like Messi-like.
Yeah.
That one is it's even a joke. He's leading with 2 goals. He has a chance to score a penalty, he just give it away. Another penalty, just give away. Sorry. And apparently the guy who's coming close will close up with him now for him to get the golden boot. And Argentina has called him for the national squad. And there is a whole lot of argument that why don't you allow him to play the last 2 games and wrap up this golden boot? Well, MVP, it's already known. It's done. It's in the bag. So what's your take about Pirates?
Looking good. Looking good.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, they're the only one of the top 4 that we normally talk about or have started to talk about with the inclusion of Sekhukhune. Yeah. What can I say? For me, if I was a gambling man, I'd be putting some money on Pirates now to win the Carling Cup. But it'll be a tough game the next one. And you know there are some good teams still left in that, but I don't know. Pirates just seem to be doing something right at the moment.
For me, as I was saying, Pete, Orlando Pirates, they seems like a team to watch.
Yep.
And then I'm putting my head on the block. Pirates may take this league. If they continue the way they continue, they will take the league. That's my opinion.
2 of us now that put their heads on the block because I say I backed them for the Carling Knockout Cup. So
yeah,
we will stand by our decisions. Yeah,
we'll see. Hey, but Pirates can disappoint. You know, sometimes they are not consistent. You know. Now, Cardoso, what's your take? Sundowns fans are not happy. I speak with Sundowns fans. They are really, really not happy with him. And you can see, well, if you watch Sundowns, to be honest, I watch him, the football is boring now. The football is boring. And I don't know. What's your take? What's your take? But they're winning.
Difficult one. Well, they're still top of the league, though, eh? So, but I mean, that was a bit of a oops there, you know, in the Carling Cup there to lose that game.
Yeah, they're out of the cup, so they don't.
They've never really been good at cup competitions, really. And I read somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where it was now, that somebody said that the coach Cardoso will be judged by the CAF results, as opposed to an early exit in this Carling Cup competition. So, I mean, we heard the rumor that you told us about, that he's been given the ultimatum, leave or we'll show you where the door is, but we don't know if that's true.
What's your take about the approach of, sorry, Pete, I cut you there. The approach of a person like Pires. Pires, when he wants you to go, just fine. He doesn't waste time. And Madrid is performing. What's your take about that kind of?
Frozen here, Sophie.
I'm frozen. Can you hear me now? I see you frozen. Me on my side, I'm fine. I don't know whether you're frozen. Maybe you need to refresh your yeah.
I was frozen for a while there. Yeah, if the boss wants you to go, more often than not, you must go. whether it's maybe a little bit early. But I agree with you. They're not playing with the flair that they once was. They are playing a little bit. I don't know, boring's the right word, but sometimes I think the same about Man City, the way that they play football. But sometimes they get the results. I mean, if you look at Arsenal in comparison, they play a very good attacking football. So yeah, I think they've lost their flair. I think they've lost their flair.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to say I'm going to the books. After that, I wanted you to tell me about Arsenal, Man City, the Man City men. But let me go to the books before we go there. And then remember, we are a financial company. Our mission is always trying to ensure that people get educated financially, because my belief is if you are to solve problems, you need to understand how the money works. Last night I was talking to a former client of mine. He got a letter via WhatsApp. And when he got this letter via WhatsApp, they say she owes SARS. She was working for the government. Listen to this. They said, and she's gone on pension. She went with us. She's my client. And then she was asking me. I said, in their letter, they admit, maybe you'll give me a word of advice there. They admit that they made a mistake. They undercalculated. So they wanted to pay 10,000 with immediate effect. All right. Then they've admitted that the mistake is theirs. I said, no, you can't pay immediately. That's not a mistake. It's their mistake. And you are not saying you're not willing to pay, if genuinely so. Okay. But at the same time, we need to be very careful about the scams, because he said they sent an email, but when they check with her, the email that they sent is not her email. And this is a former principal. The department should be having all the contacts of the principals. All right? And then they send him via WhatsApp.
It's a scam.
What? You are not sure what's happening here. And I'm not saying don't pay them if it's true. And moreover, if you are called by SARS. But here is not SARS. It's purportedly the department. I say, go and open up a case, suspect fraud, one. At least you have done something, you've got a case number. Then you go to the Department of Education, check with them, do they know this communication? Because it might be a fraud, all right? So
I would go directly to the tax man.
No.
That's where I would go.
Yeah, the way they write, no, look, she doesn't owe the tax man. They say they evaluate and they paid tax more. No, they shortchanged tax as the department. They had to pay as a department for the shortfall to SARS. That's their problem. That's their mistake. All right. Now they wanted to sign, and now they said, sign an acknowledgement of debt. I know what does it mean. As a debt counsel, I know acknowledgement of debt is not. I said, don't agree to sign an acknowledgement of debt. If it's anything that you want to do, put them in writing. That okay, I'll pay, but I'm not acknowledging the debt because I don't even know whether this debt exists. Or you may even ask for an investigation. Can this be investigated? Did you understand? So it's all about that. Those little technicalities, you need to act on them. Yeah. So, and now, why do I had to do that? It's because of this debt counseling that I've done. I've learned, and then I learned experience. Now we teach here secrets for becoming rich, because you can imagine her losing money that she was not planned to lose. The other one is how to get out of bad debts, use other people's money and resources to get rich. So you can also lay your hands on this book. And then the other one is this one. This one is how I turned 500 Rand into R1 million business. You can do the same. This one, the good about it, It is it is both in digital and also in hard copy. You can go to Amazon, get it there, put it on your phone or laptop, and that's it. So yeah, and then the other book is this one by a very good friend, Nomsa Masbugo, Entrepreneur Awakening with a Drive. So if you want the book, you can just go there and get that book. Then the last one is this one, Dr. Darlene Small, a former economist with the Reserve Bank, How to Win the Wealth Game, The Art of Money. So if you want to lay a hand, just give us a shout, you'll get it from us. Pete, the
Yes,
man,
sir.
what's happening with the Man City and Arsenal?
Well, and Liverpool for that matter. I mean, let's look at the top teams there basically. Arsenal are now top. They've got 16 points after 7 matches, following Liverpool on 15 points, 7 matches. And then the surprise of the season so far, although if you're a Tottenham fan, you'll understand that Tottenham always come out of the blocks quickly in the season and then they fade away. But currently at the moment, they're in third spot with 14 points and seven played matches. And then Bournemouth. That's an interesting team that's coming through there, and also on 14 points. And then it's my team on 13 points. Also, so we're 3 points adrift of the table now. So yes, let's watch this space. But I think the interesting thing here, we were talking about flair, and I think Arsenal, they're playing still very nice football. Whether they'll have the big match temperament, as they say, to actually take this league, is we will only see over time. But they've been barking at the door now for what, 3-4 seasons, and maybe they're starting to build that maturity. Let's see. Liverpool are the surprise for me at the moment. They've lost 3 games on the bounce now. They lost in Europe. They lost on Saturday, and they lost the previous Premier League game as well. Interesting. Very interesting what's going on at Liverpool at the moment. We'll see whether they can stop that early fade in form, as it were. The next game, I think, will be a really interesting game for Liverpool because they're playing Manchester United. And they're away. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, no, they are at home to Manchester United. Manchester United going through a little bit of a resurgence at the moment. They had a nice win on Saturday. I think that one has bought a bit of time for Amarin. I know he's been under a lot of pressure. So we'll watch Manchester United against Liverpool. Funnily enough, even when Manchester United are not playing well, they always raise their game against Liverpool. That is one of the games of the season to watch there. So we'll see there. Hopeful for my team, Man City. As I say, 3 points behind the lead after 7 matches. So it's a good position. It's certainly better than it was a couple of weeks ago. But are they playing to their potential? I don't think so yet. I don't think so. But we'll see. It's a rebuild team. Maybe things are not quite there, but you've got to have faith in Pep. I think he's a good coach. We'll see where he takes us. So that's a quick review of things happening in the Premier League at the top there. And then we got the international break. So even within the UEFA side of things, there's World Cup qualifiers as well. Yeah. So, but the interest at the moment is down here in the south, and our next game against Zimbabwe on Friday night. Huh?
How do you see that game?
South Africa should beat Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
they should. They're a good side. They're a good side, and they've got the beating of Zimbabwe if they keep their head focused and not let this current situation get to them.
On Thursday, I'm interviewing Lucky Staliano. a former Kaizer Chiefs midfield utility midfielder. I watch a lot of games of Lagistan. I used to hate him, because I was a pirate, So Lucky, you would disturb everything that we were trying to put up together. Very solid. He's a Chiefs through and through. He's my friend on Facebook. We talk from time to time. He loves Kaizer Chiefs. He loves Kaizer Chiefs, which is good. And then he mentioned something very important, which myself and you have been talking about. He said, why journalists go with a particular narrative intending to achieve? They are not, giving the facts objectively. They want to push something. And I agree with him. I see it in football. I see it in politics. People go there with a particular narrative. Then I want us to, I'll be looking his profile as a former player who was very, very instrumental in making Chiefs what it is today. What is he doing now and all that. And also touch on that subject. I think it's very key for me. Journalists should be as objective as possible. I'm a Cosmos fan, but we are a team that belonging there, down there. So I'm not gonna go out there and defend things that are not right. If things are not right, they're not right. I'll say what I see, which is my right in any way, and then that's it. Pete,
Yeah.
what I said. You know that Nigeria, they wanted Pitso to coach Nigerian squad, uh, and then Pitso refused. The reason why he refused, he said, you know what, Nigeria are fighting to qualify just like South Africa, and I don't see that it will occur well. And JJ Okocha, one of the greatest footballers that has ever been produced in Nigeria. Ronaldinho said he used to support JJ. He said all tricks that he did, he was watching JJ, and then he learned from JJ. So you see how powerful JJ is. So JJ said they tried to convince Pitso. He just, as a matter of principle, I'll never coach Nigeria. All right, because they are playing South Africa. They have to qualify both with South Africa. So I'm a South African first. What's your take about this, Pete?
He's a patriot. That's what I see there. He doesn't want to coach a team that will, damage his homeland. He's a South African and he wants South African. So I think his heart's here in South Africa. And like we say, we're backing him at the moment now, for a nice job this side. Let's see what happens. I think his heart's here. I think that's what it is. He's a South African through and through. He wants South Africa to do well. And South African football to do well.
Yeah, so I know Pitso personally. We had nice interaction. The nice thing that happened, I appreciate. the daughter, with their own academy, and then they wanted to connect with community radio station, because I was one of the founders of Tembisa, for the Voice of Tembisa. Then Pitso gave the daughter my number, said, this is the guy who will help you. The daughter phoned me, said, hey, my dad said I must talk to you. You are the one. I said, I left Voice of Tembisa, but I'm doing my own thing. And then I said to him, yeah, I'm currently trying to help me that we get him to interview. We've been talking about that. It has never happened, but maybe it will happen one day. I listened to him.
It will be good.
I listened to him talking. Pitso is a genuine guy. People misconstrue him. He speaks his mind. If he doesn't like things, for instance, I'll give an example. He said, You know, Chiefs, they used to get freebies of penalties and so on. So if it's me who's supposed to get it, why not? Let me get it. He's an honest guy, you see?
You know, he reminds me of in that respect is I'm going back many years now as a Man City supporter. He used to have a player called Francis Lee.
Yeah.
He was an upfront player at Manchester City there. He used to get so many penalties.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, you sometimes look at some of those penalty decisions and you think, wow, well, he got one for free there. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
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 So
So
he
it's
was
a,
he was famous. He was famous for I won't say diving, but you know, getting penalties that maybe were a little bit controversial.
there was an old man called Motswane. He was a referee. That old man, he was a pirate, open Pirates fan.
Hmm.
And everybody knows that. 1980, he was the one who was refereeing the cup final between Pirates and Rover Swallows. And the Swallows was on fire. And at the final, Swallows scored a goal, which could have made it 3-3. He refused.
Hmm.
He said no. And then I don't know what did he say. What he said, offside or what? But I think you could see that, nah, man, this wasn't fair. And Pirates won the cup. They won the Men's State Cup. That is the cup Jomo was really at his own game. That is the year Jomo won Football of the Year for South Africa and Canada. I've never heard that before. It's only him who still holds that record of winning Football of the Year in two countries in one season. Pete, I think now I'm moving to my favorite. You know what is my favorite? The Messi special. But before I go there, let me give you the fixtures, quarterfinal fixtures of the Carling Black Label. Golden Arrows will be playing TS Galaxy. Marumo Gallants will be playing Stellenbosch. Orlando Pirates, Magesi, Richards Bay, and Devon City. I see Pirates taking this cup again.
Yeah, sort of.
Huh?
The next game is the key one, I think. There, I think they get through that one to the semi. I think they're going to start engraving that cup with their name on it.
It looks like Paris will take it. Now, let me go to the Messi special. I don't know what
When
to
are
say.
these quarterfinals to be played? Do you know?
Pardon?
Or is this what date are these quarterfinals?
Let me check for
Do we
you.
know?
The dates, no, we don't have dates here, as you can see.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll get them soon.
Yeah.
Unless I'm not aware. Unless I'm not aware. But that's
Well, I
possible.
didn't see anything either. I also looked, you know, and I couldn't see any specific
That's
date.
possible. Here's another son of the soil, great soldier, a warrior, Busquets, bowing down. Nice, isn't it?
Mm.
And Inter Miami gave him a very good farewell. The rumors are saying he was not getting along with David Beckham. I'm disappointed.
Mm.
They said, I don't know, it's rumor. Remember, we don't get the news. It's rumor. They said he was angry that they don't buy the quality players to support them. And we are not even sure whether Messi, we were told that he signed, but I'm hearing them unsettling news. I don't know whether how true is that or is a propaganda that he has given them an ultimatum to say, if you don't do this, then I'm out. And I don't think,
That doesn't sound like Messi.
yeah, look, Messi, you know, he negotiates silently, you know, and doesn't go in public, which is good. And David Beckham, for me, I see David Beckham loves Messi, genuinely so. And all those guys, they love him very much. And they understand the impact that he has brought to the team. I hope they settle that. And the other thing that is worrying, which I want to say it in passing, Messi has been recalled by Argentina, and then he also has 2 games with Inter Miami. Some of us are praying that he plays for those 2 games. He score and then just wrap up the Golden Boot once and for all. And then on the other hand, Argentina wants him, and Messi loves Argentina more than anything else. And then he chooses where he wants to go. I think he has chosen to go and play with the national squad. I don't know. I don't know what's your take.
I think so.
We'll watch the space.
We'll watch it, but I think he'll go and play for Argentina, which will be. He must be torn with that decision because he wants to play for both. I know he does.
Yeah, it's
just the way he is.
But I think
he'll play for Argentina.
How did FIFA allow this to happen? Because normally, when it's an international break, it's international break.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, can't they postpone those games that one wonders, and just maybe sort of like have them rescheduled?
That's another story.
Who knows?
Yeah. Now, the last part that I want to share, not this one, which is the last part that I want to share, I'll tell you now, is this one. This guy is the most decorated player in football with 46 titles, followed by Daniel.
He's in good company there.
Yeah. And then Hossan Ashbo, 39, Marquinhos, 38, Gerard Piqué, 37, Sergio Busquets, 37, Cristiano Ronaldo, 36, David Alaba, 36, Andres Iniesta, 35, Kenny Dalglish, and Kenny Dalglish used to be one of the greatest in England, 35.
Ryan Giggs also.
Oh man, I used to love that guy. That's the man who made me to love Man United. Ryan Giggs. And Thomas Muller, 35. Yeah, so that's it. Pete, thank you so much. Much appreciated. It has been a very long show, but we tried to
maybe one thing though, the under-20s qualified now.
I nearly forget. We are going to the top 16 now.
Wednesday, no?
Yeah.
I think it's Wednesday, playing Wednesday against Colombia. So I think it's Wednesday.
Just check there. Just check there.
I'm not sure. I did look there, but I'm not sure if it's this Wednesday or next Wednesday. But under 20 Colombia, that's going to be because those Colombians, like most South American players, are very talented players. It will be a tough game, but we wish them well. And
this also brings me to those people who are making noise and say Danny Jordan. They're calling for Danny's head. How? When he's doing well. Under 20 has qualified for the World Cup. They're playing the World Cup. They're going to top 16. Well, there may be problems like this one. There must be action, but you can't say
it's the process.
Danny's head. He has done well. He's done well. That's my opinion. Don't kill me. If you disagree with me, put your view across.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vic. Pete, I really appreciate it. And we continue to ask people to subscribe. And then please subscribe and comment. And then let's see how far we can go. Pete, thank you so much. Difficult to wake up in the morning, do the show. So tough. It's not easy. Thanks. Much appreciated. Just be the
Bye, guys. Have a great week, guys. See you in the next show.
The Man City man. Wish you good luck coming weekend.
No, international break, so we can breathe easy.
Oh, at least you can start working and get things right. Bafana Friday, guys, you win.
Don't miss it.
We are there behind you. We are there behind. We are going to watch. We don't want any draw. Win. And then
and win convincingly.
The 3 points should be irrelevant. Thank you so much, Pete. Much appreciated, Baba. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you are already in the year 2025. And then you are asking yourself, what are you going to do? Some of you have been working for many years. And then now you are contemplating of either resigning or going on retirement. And it looks scary. You're not sure what are you going to do. How are you going to survive? You're worried about your pension and so on and so on. Especially if you're a GPF member at the age of 55 and above, and you are in those situations. You are thinking, what's going to happen? Remember, the most important thing, you need to think about how can you save the little that you have, in terms of how do you avoid penalties, because when you retire earlier than 60 you'll be penalized. How can you avoid that? Not to be penalized, not even a cent. You also want to make sure that you maximize in terms of the taxation. But get me right, tax applies to everyone, but you want to make sure that you are tax as little as you can. And you want to do all those things, you need somebody who's skilled, somebody who's trained to deal with finance, because tax avoidance is allowed. Because when you avoid tax, you use the tax law. Now, if you want to do that, to make sure that you save as much as you can, don't hesitate. Contact us, TBR Solution, or the bigger financial services, an authorized financial service provider. And then just say, please, I want you to assist me. I want to go out. So come and share knowledge with me. Now, no obligation. You don't have to make any obligation. Just listen to the facts. After listening to the facts, make a decision. Can listen to us, can listen to others, then so that you're exposed to various information, so that when you make a decision, it's an informed decision. Now, my name is the Sober Boys Walifatsi from TBR Solution. Here I'm representing the bigger financial services and authorized financial service provider. If you want to know how to get hold of us, just look at the WhatsApp number, drop us your contact via WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.